Hello, everyone. This is Andrew Rochford, host of the Rochford Files. And for this next segment, it's important to talk about uh, this upcoming California recall election where people are sending their ballots in right now to decide whether they want Governor Gavin Newsom recalled or not. And I'm going to go into showing a couple examples of popular progressives shilling for uh, Governor Newsom and trying to make sure he doesn't get recalled. So, gonna start off with this uh, quick little video of AOC.
Now listen. If you live in California, there's probably a ballot in your mailbox on a recall election. Please find that thing, vote no, stick that sucker right back in your mailbox because the options are bad. Now listen.
So you notice that hat? Abolish ICE? Yes, that hat is cosplay at this point because you remember she went through the effort a few months ago trying to qualify the differences between the Biden's order and Donald Trump's. And if you're serious about abolishing ICE, then those qualifications aren't even worth going through the trouble of trying to make. But if there's one thing to point out from AOC, the same progressive who is considered the most popular member of the squad, it's the fact that she has said that the Biden administration is exceeding expectations when, if you've been paying attention and been assessing what has been done, you would know that it is far from the truth. Then I don't think if you stick your ballot, if you literally listen to what she said, I don't think the mailman is gonna pick up your outgoing mail. So if you stick it right back in your personal mailbox, I don't think that your vote is gonna count. I doubt your mailman is gonna look through your mail and before putting more in and that looks like outgoing. I should probably take it for them. No, that's highly, extremely unlikely to happen. So if she so don't take her literally at her word because your ballot is just going to be stuck in your mail if you literally follow what she said with sticking it in your mailbox. Because if you do, it should be in a drop box or straight to an election office. But that's not the only person. We've also got the most popular Twitch socialist, Hasan Piker, weighing in with his shilling for the Democratic Party as well. If Larry Elder wins, Dianne Feinstein will pass away. She's 700 years old, and Larry will appoint a psychopathic, not much of a difference, Republican to the Senate, completely destroying the already fragile 50-50 Democratic majority Senate. You see how pathetic some of these people on the left are? I mean, this stuff like this is why we don't consider Hasan Piker a genuine socialist. Because if you are, then you're not just fear mongering your base, because he's the most popular Twitch streamer. And but what we also do know is that a lot of his fan base is more your younger and newer people to electoral politics, and making up scenarios that this Senate is going to get flipped back to the Republicans. I mean, come on. They're already not doing anything, and you've already got Democrats obstructing anything good that they could do, such as this recent uh, uh infrastructure bill. You've got Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, well, specifically more so Manchin in this instance, trying to say that the $3.5 trillion infrastructure can be negotiated down to 1.5. And these are the people that you're trying to sheepherd into protecting this useless 50-50 Democratic Senate who doesn't even, who will never, ever get this to a point where they can make the tiebreaker relevant. That's who you want to sheepherd for? And this is why a lot of people gave uh, Hasan Piker flack over his house, because a lot of that would go away if he was actually had the right type of actions at this time, and continuing to fall victim to this abusive relationship with the Democratic Party, and continuing to be red pilled into their fear mongering bullshit, is going to continue to uh, delay the time that we strategically withhold our vote in order to force the Democratic Party into changing. Every time that this happens, I always want to play that Lawrence O'Donnell clip. If you don't prove to the Democratic Party that you're capable of withholding your vote for them, then they never have to listen to the left. Ever. Although this situation is also a bit more complicated as well. So the current Democratic strategy is telling people to vote no on the recall for Gavin Newsom and leaving it blank. First off, how illogical is that strategy? Not only are you making yourself more susceptible to the recall, you're also making it to the point where you're taking away you're telling your voters to throw away a plan B in the process. And yes, there are a few people in that field who are Democrats and even 3 Green Party candidates to choose from. And the fact is, if you're really serious about making sure Gavin Newsom does not get recalled, you at least make sure to tell people to at least make a vote as an insurance plan in case they vote in favor of the recall. Because not everyone voting in favor of this is some Republican. There is plenty of left wing frustration over Gavin Newsom as well that is getting no acknowledgement whatsoever. The Hispanic community has extremely low voter turnout to this point in this recall. And what we also do know is they are not a monolith as well. Unlike many of the other marginalized communities, they are less susceptible to the fear mongering tactics of the Democratic Party, which are perpetuated by their popular progressive figures like AOC and Hasan Piker, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, Sam Cedar, and the list goes on of all these people who are these liberal progressive types who ultimately do not have the ability to who talk about all of these left-wing policies throughout the majority of 4 years, but when it comes time to actually wield power and try to force uh, the Democrats into trying to be more of a left-wing party, they always cave into protecting this right-wing capitalist party because you're ultimately choosing which form of right-wing capitalism you prefer more. And as I've said, this was a bit more complicated because there are local consequences as well. As you can see, I can understand the case for a lesser of two evils type of argument more so at the local level, specifically with your mayor and governor, because there's a bigger difference in what they do, at least at the state and local level, compared to the federal level. Even though there are still times where the Democratic governor or mayor candidates are so bad that it's not even worth it. But there are uh, consequent. There could be local consequences at stake. So I do understand that if you do want to try to do your part to make sure that you protect the already fragile healthcare system that California has, but at least be honest about it. If you're going to make a case for voting no on this recall, just be honest. Do not use made up bullshit scenarios here because those are just going to turn more people away from the left who are already extremely frustrated with the Democratic Party. And if you at least try to make an honest argument, they may be more sympathetic to it. And this is going to continue to happen until the left grows a spine and is willing to risk some short term pain to potentially have better long term gain. And that's going to continue until we uh, don't strongly oppose this new progressive sheep herders that continue to keep people on board with the hamster wheel known as the oligarchy and the Democratic Party. And even though there are valid cases to be made at a local level to vote no on this recall, it is very self-sabotaging to not try to vote for a, a left-wing alternative in the process in case it does get to that point. And even with all that being said, as of right now, it doesn't look like that this recall is going to pass. So for now, this fear mongering is going to continue to work in the Democratic favor, but there could be a dramatic shift by Tuesday, and this could all end up being uh, shorter, much closer than expected as well. But just know that continuing to fearmonger and sheepherd into a party that's diametrically opposed to anything that the left believes in is not the way that we're going to get any progress, because you're just going to continue to get dragged further and further to the right the longer that you let this go on.